Hello everyone, welcome to Clock Cup Season 3. My name is Carter Williams and I'm so glad to be back here. And this is going to be a great match. It's going to be Magnus versus Zayd. It's match week 3, but before we get into that, we're going to go into our new segment, the pre-match facts. Alright, let's go. This is Magnus. His recent form has been undefeated. He has won 15-12 against Edwin in a pretty close contest, and in a less close contest between Martin, which was 15-6. So he is 2-0, and he has a plus 12 solve differential. So very good for Magnus right now in Group D. For him, he is undefeated. He is using the Chi clock today, and he is one of many that uses 7 simul, Tommy's version. So that is great. Not only does he use a Chi clock, he is German. He is 25th in the world, right on the brink of top player. He holds a German NR and he's 12th in Europe. He has a 354 single and a 408 average of 5. He's a German NR holder in clock and OH, and he's a former European record holder in OH. So very talented Magnus there. And now let's look at Zayd. So he won his first match against Martin 15-10, but he lost against Edwin 6-15 in a New Zealand versus Australia showdown. So his record is 1-1 for this season with a -4 solve differential. That match from Edwin kind of hurt his solve differential there, but he's using the Chi clock today and he is using flip. He is one of very few that are using flip in this competition. So very impressive from Zayd to keep going with that. He is ranked 28th in the world. He is Australian. He has the Australian NR, and he is second in the continent behind Edwin. He has a 311 single and a 421 average of 5. He is the Australian NR holder, and he has free NRs and free OCRs in clock. So this is Group D right now. It's looking pretty interesting here. Magnus right now can clinch the first seed, if you guys can see, and Zayd. But if Zayd wins, that would secure him into a qualification spot, I believe, unless something happens with Edwin. It's very complicated. There's a lot of math, but more so it's for Magnus to secure the top seed and for Zayd to maybe have a shot at getting second. But we're going to go straight to the competitors right now. This is Magnus and Zayd. You guys are live. Hello, everyone. So, all right, yeah. Okay, so, who's the better seed here? I believe, Zayd is the better seed. So would you like to go, with heads or tails? Okay, so, we're gonna do a coin flip. You said tails? And it's going to be tails. So Zayd, would you like to go first or second? Alright, so I'm going to server diff in both of you. I'm going to pop up a new scramble, and good luck to the both of you. So Zayd's going first. So Zayd is going first. Here we go. It has been 3 weeks since the last Clock Cup match with Zayd, and Zayd's here again to possibly get 3 more points out of this group before we head to the bracket stage and the bracket stage draw. We're gonna love that. But yeah, Zayd also making the move to start his clock face down. You can do that. That is legal. I think we've all gotten over the pin regs there. It's a slow flip for him. He kind of shrugs a little bit, so that's a 548. Yeah, not really up to par, but decent from Zayd. Alright, here's Magnus. So, using 7 simul here, and oh, he has to do a flip though. 2 flips there. It looks to be not solved, so that's going to be a point for Zayd. A really important point too. A point to make that flip is still viable, despite what we see with all the new records and all the new times people set. They all seem to be part of this 7 simul cult, but yeah, Magnus is using a watch. This is pretty funny. But yeah, I think it's, from what he's indicating, it's time to change the 7 simul, but some have not made the switch yet, and they seem to be doing just fine. But let's see how Magnus does here. That looked really good. It's pretty calm in his reaction. Oh, but it's sadly because it's a DNF. It's a free 91 DNF, so Zayd will be able to safety this and get a second point in the match. So, solving here, and yep, he's going to flip, and both sides are solved. So that's going to be a point for Zayd. It's a 6:46, but the time doesn't really matter. It's just the state of the clock. Once a competitor DNFs a point. So, yeah, Magnus has not completed the successful solve in this match so far. Will this be the chance for him to do so? We'll have to wait because Zayd is solving first. So, Zayd, oof, it looks slow. I think he's actually using 7 simul here. Yeah, 477. So, Zayd giving Magnus a taste of his own medicine there. We'll see if Magnus will be able to beat that. It's 2-0 to Zayd right now, but that could change with this point. But is it not solved? Oh my, yeah, it is 3-0 right now to Zayd. And Magnus has not even solved the clock in this run of form, so that is not good from Magnus. And basically those are 3 easy points for Zayd to claim. Both of the times where Zayd actually solved first, by the way, Magnus would not have been able to claim those points even if he did not DNF, because that last solve was 493, but it still wouldn't have beat Zayd's 477. Magnus is really struggling here. It's going to be a solved clock, but at what cost? A 10. So a 10:01 from Magnus. At least he solved the clock, but he has yet to get a sub 10 in this match. Zayd's gonna really safety this one, I'd assume, with flip, yeah. Checking the back. That's gonna be a 530, and that's gonna be 4-0 to Zayd right now. Very impressive. Zayd, as you know, was the 3rd place winner of Clock Cup Season 1, so he has still retained some of his royalty and his credibility, if that's the right word. I believe this is flip, I'm assuming. No X2s, so might be, or it might just be 7 simul, yeah. Okay, that looks pretty good. That's a 456 from Zayd, putting pressure on Magnus to get a point on the board. It looks a little frustrated. Let's see. Chance for the first decent solve of the match for Magnus. Oh! Whoa. What did we just watch? It's a DNF 361. So that could have been a great way for him to kick off maybe a run of form there. Or maybe a run of good solves, but that just doesn't seem to be the case. And it's 5-0. Zayd Magnus's only solve has been a 10. It's been a 10:01. So Magnus is going to go first. He's only solved the clock once in this match. That is very poor, but that's going to be a decent solve if it's solved. which it is. It's a 360 free. So the best solve of the match is his first sub 10 of the match. And this is going to be a tall order for Zayd to beat. So it should get him a point on the board. Unless Zayd does something here. Which he does. It's a 361 and it's solved. It is 6-0 to Zayd right now. Oh my god, this is a way to restart Clock Cup here. Magnus has failed to get a point on the board, and Zayd just seems to be rubbing salt in the wound. This seems like a huge victory for Zayd here, even if maybe the end of the match doesn't translate to that as much. That doesn't... It looks like a safety from Zayd, to be honest, at least at that tempo. It's a 572, so a good benchmark for Magnus to beat, but we'll see what happens here. So, looking fairly decent. Took a long time. He's laughing. 632, so that's 7-0. Okay. Yeah, this is completely unexpected, to be honest. Maybe because we scheduled this match like maybe 6 hours before it happened, but Zayd has actually been able to get a lot of rest. It's morning for him. It's nighttime for Magnus. That might attribute to it, but he's solving first here. Alright, he looked pretty calm in his reaction, so it's a 552. He is not happy, clearly. But, wow. Just wow. I think Zayd at this point has the match under control. He's gonna... Unless... Yep, it's solved. It's a 448. So that's going to be 8 points for Zayd. 0 for Magnus. I can't believe it, honestly. Let's see how far Zayd can take this run. He's also not DNF'd, which is probably the reason why Magnus hasn't gotten a point. But this looks like a good scramble with that line in the back. He's not... It's a 367, but he had like somewhat of an adverse reaction. Let's see if Magnus can beat that, but it might have been an easy scramble because Zayd doesn't look entirely happy about it, but we'll see what happens here. Yeah, this is not going to beat a, yeah. That's going to be a 436. That's going to be 9 points for Zayd in a row. Magnus yet to score. This could be double digits for Zayd right now if Magnus sets a benchmark Zayd can pass. And that would be 10 points in a row for Zayd. This is absolutely insane. In Zayd. So Magnus had the opportunity to claim top seed here. It looks like it's a DNF. So that's gonna be double digits for Zayd. Yeah, Magnus had the chance to claim top seed here, but that's not gonna happen at this rate, to be honest. Oh, it's a DNF. 699 on a safety. So Magnus hasn't put his head up. He doesn't believe it, or he can't see it. But that is 0 points. I don't. Is his camera frozen? Okay, no, it's not. He's just yeah. So Zayd's gonna try to get double digits again here, but this time he's solving first. Seem to have messed up. Okay, that's a 4 flat, so the benchmark is sub 4 for Magnus to get a point on the board, to prevent Zayd from getting 10 points here. But it's not going to be 10 points in a row because both competitors DNF'd, so no points on the 10th attempt of the solve. I come back to this. Yeah, you came back to a lot, buddy. Ooh, it's a fumble. Yeah, it's hard to watch. It's gonna be 10 points for Zayd. And nothing left for Magnus here, unfortunately. Let's hope he can get at least maybe a couple on the board before the match ends. But yeah. So, looks to be decent. Yep, backside. But shaking his head, that's a 465. So, a passable benchmark. Oh, it's a DNF. It looks like this is going to be 11 points for Zayd, or it could be 10 if the DNF thing happens again. But, man, this is just not his day. You gotta feel bad. Looks like a DNF. So, yeah. I don't think he knew there was a DNF earlier. But Zayd could be up 12 points right now if he just safetied those two. Which is kind of concerning. But yeah, it is 10 points. We could be in for something here. It's not necessarily that Zayd just outclassing Magnus on some solves, which, though he did do at that free earlier Magnus had, which is probably not great for moral. Backside looks good. It's 402 from Zayd on that solve. So Magnus is going to try to salvage the most he can from this match. But this is a huge boost for Zayd, especially in solve differential, especially if it comes down to the last match. It's I'm assuming it's a DNF, or didn't beat the solve. Yeah, it's a DNF 359, 11 points for Zayd right now. Who will win? 57% Magnus. 43% Zayd. Okay. This has been one of the worst poll votes in the history of voting. I'm sorry for laughing, though. This is... yeah. Magnus is gonna safety this with flip. I don't think he's just in the right headspace, man. But it's a 915 from Magnus. This could very well be the 12th point for Zayd if something doesn't happen. I think Zayd's just not checking the back out of respect, to be honest. 553. It's just 12-0 right now as a score. I mean, this could be the comeback. This could be the comeback. I think the farthest comeback was a margin of 7 points. This is a margin of 12, but anything can happen in Clock Cup. But yeah, this is just tragic, honestly. That's a solved clock. It's a 402 again from Zayd. He got a 402 a couple solves back, so could be the 13th point. Unless Magnus pulls off something here at the very late stage of the game. That looks... That could beat it. That could beat it. Finally, breaking the deadlock. It is 4 flat from Magnus. It is his first point in this match. 12-1 is the score. When's the last group stage match? To be determined, but it's going to be against Edwin and Martin. And they're both in the same time zone, so I hope to God that it coincides. Alright. So Magnus has a point on the board. It's not going to be a clean sheet from Zayd. It's a 454. It's a 434. So let's see if Zayd is going to be able to beat that. Alright. Ooh, I don't know if that's going to be at 454. Oh, yeah, it's 476. So 212 in Zayd's favor, but we'll see, folks. We'll see. This is an opportunity, to say the least. Okay. Oh, it's a DNF from Zayd. So, that's actually going to be a third point for Magnus. Oh, no. What was that was brutal. Yeah. I think it was like 5-12 or something in Oliver's favor. And then Samuel beat the absolute crap out of him after that, I think. So solved, and that's going to be Magnus's third point. Would you believe it? 3 points in a row from Magnus. Zayd was on a 10-point streak before this. Technically, it wasn't 12 because of the 2 DNFs. Oh. The scoreline is ineligible. Only scorelines that out of... I mean, do you want a halftime break? Hey, we're gonna take a halftime break out of out of the decision of the competitor. So we'll be back in 5 minutes. The 5 minutes start now. Okay. Yeah. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Alright, yeah, you heard it there. It is halftime right now. And it is 12-3. Okay. Alright. So, that's a way to use the break. There is no rule against this. But usually out of respect, you don't take it unless you believe you can actually win the match. Which, to be honest, let's be honest. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. So we'll see what these competitors do during halftime. But we'll be back in about 4 minutes now. So I wanna talk to chat here. How's chat doing today? So we're gonna get some messages in the chat. You see some reactions. It's a thumbs up. Okay. All right. 3 minutes and 20 seconds until chat. I want to know how. I'm doing good. Um, chat. I want to know. Do you think Magnus has room for a comeback? Chat doing Chad things, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I would have content to show you during halftime, but that's gonna be in the bracket stage. When we roll those segments out. Um, yeah, but for now, this is it basically. So, awesome stuff, awesome stuff. We are halfway through halftime. I I really Yeah, so right now Magnus is 9 points down. Um, he he is he just had a 12 point streak of defeat, but Magnus has gotten 3 points back in a row. I think he's trying to use this strategically to maybe throw off Zayd a little bit. Definitely a strategic move used in a lot of sports. The halftime break is beneficial to some, but yeah, yeah, we'll find out how that goes. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds until halftime break is over. To be fair, it's 10:30, so I think the break is fine. Yeah. All right. 30 seconds. Halftime break is gonna be over, but yeah. I wish I had more stuff to show you guys, but I don't really want to talk too much because we are nearing the end of halftime. All right, and halftime is going to be over in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that is the end of halftime. I'm going to generate a new scramble, and that is going to be your scramble for the rest of the match. It is 12-3 in Zayd's favor. Good luck to the both of you. All right. Okay, so I don't know who's going first. I think it's Magnus. Magnus is going first, so we're gonna assume it's him. And oof, that's a DNF from Magnus. from what it looks like. Yeah, 398 DNF. So 13 points for Zayd could be on the board here. So Zayd. Yep. That's going to be solved 401. It is 13-3 here after this halftime break. For 3.13, the time Carter Thomas got to achieve his NAR single a couple years back. That's why I remember that number. Also the date of the Clock Cup final, I believe, in last season. Okay. Zayd. The D-move looked a little... It'd be a little too much on it. 495. So that's going to be... let's see how Magnus does. If he can beat that, he reduces this deficit a little bit, as much as he can. Oof, clock drop. That's going to be most likely a point for Zayd. Yeah, I imagine if actually he didn't drop the clock, that would have been another point for Magnus. But yeah, Magnus is going to set the benchmark here for Zayd to see if he can win this match. But we'll see how it goes. Alright, starting with Magnus. That's a good solve. Oh. But it's okay, no, it's not. He's frustrated. It's a free 70. I don't know if that was a DNF or not, but doesn't I mean it was probably a really easy scramble from what it looks like too. So, Zayd kind of messed up there. He didn't. Oh, it's a DNF in the back though. So 392, 414, in Magnus's favor. So. Yeah. Some points on the board from Magnus here, I guess. Take what you can get. Now this is looking more like the match we envisioned, with it being a little bit closer. But, alright, so Zayd is solving. Oof, he motioned to put down the clock, but he didn't like that. It's all fours, 444 for Zayd. And we're going to see if this is the final solve of the match. If Magnus fails to beat a 444 as this is match point, the match is over. But, ooh. Is it good? Yeah, it's a free 27, and it's good. So that is your instant replay moment of this match. It's a free 27 from Magnus. Let's rewatch it. We have... Yeah, it looked really slick. Yeah, that is amazing from Magnus. But he's going to start off again. And if he gets, let's think of it this way, if he gets a DNF, it's over. He has to get 9 more points in the board in a row, 8 more points in a row to at least get this into overtime. Oh, no, I think it's 9. But, yeah, he also uses 7 simul, and he has DNF'd a lot in this match. It's a 4-12 from Magnus. Can Magnus match the quality that Zayd had before? We'll find out. He kind of it looks a little shaky picking up the clock. It's a DNF, so it's gonna be 6-14. What a turnaround from 12-0. That was the last time he scored. And if Zayd had taken advantage of those 2 DNF points, he would have been 14-0 up. But yeah, it looks to be a bit of a longer road than that. So a chance for Zayd to seal it up here. And checking the back, it's solved. It's a 409. That might do it. It's a pretty intimidating benchmark. Magnus did not beat that benchmark when he got 401. He did beat a 402 though, but that was about 9 solves back. So that was also his first point back as well. So this could be the start of something. I don't think that's going to be at a 402. Yep, flipping the clock aggressively. 5:30. Game over. 15-6. Zayd takes the win. All right, thank you guys. That was a match. So yeah, I want to get your thoughts here in a post-match interview. So I'll start with Zayd first. Congratulations on the win. It was really good. Talk us through that 1 point you won on that 361, where you beat Magnus by 0.02. What was your just reaction to that? Because that was pretty insane to watch.
I don't actually remember that solve too well. All I remember is just a decent scramble, and I turned well, and I didn't really take note of Magnus's time until I actually compared it after I stopped the timer. So yeah.
Right. Yeah. Was there your favorite moment of the match, or was it just all good for you?
No, my performance was mediocre at best. So
Mm.
I guess the highlight would have to be that 361, which is my only sub 4 of the match, surprisingly. I
I think you
expected
had.
to.
Oh no, you had a 367.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing really too spectacular for me.
Yeah. Magnus. The start of the match was not as great as you would anticipate, obviously, but you were able to actually pull off 6 points at the end there. Talk us through how you were able to do that, and was it just a matter of you gaining more confidence, or maybe wearing Zayd down a little bit?
Well, it's I've had many bad performances in my life, but this one was the worst, and I couldn't get in a state of mind where I didn't want to kill myself until sort of 10 or something. And after that, I just tried to not DNF, and that worked to get at least some points.
Yeah. So let's see what this does to the group. Magnus, you had a chance to claim the top seed today. Unfortunately, you don't. But this does put Zayd, you out of the negative solve differentials, and this is going to give you, I think, +5 and 6 points. So, yeah, doing the math here, it looks like Edwin is going to, or no, sorry, Zayd, you're going to actually finish this match top of the group. Magnus, you're going to be in 6th. Edwin is going to be in 3rd, and Martin's going to be in 4th. But Edwin and Martin still have that match to play. So congratulations to the Both of you, I'm pretty sure that you all qualified anyway, but I want to confirm that until after the last match is done and we get started with the bracket stage, which should be really, really exciting. So thank you guys all for competing, and I will see you all later, hopefully in the bracket stages. All right. Thank you.
Bye.